It can be patched. But will it be? Pokémon Scarlet and Violet has been out for a little over a week as of writing this, and man, what happened here? Well, a lot actually. This is actually a pretty fun game, and some even say it's the best Pokémon game. And you know what? Yes, they are fucking fun, man. When they work. There's no real avoiding it, is there? This game has awful performance, downright one of the worst optimized games on the Switch. Now, whether that be because of time constraints, budget for some reason, or incompetent developers, I have no idea. All we know is this is how it is. And that is a game that even has FPS drops in the first room of the game. The fuck, man. Disclaimer here, if Scarlet and Violet somehow runs well for you and you haven't encountered the numerous bugs and all, good for you, I'm jealous. But just because you don't encounter problems, it doesn't mean that the rest of us in the majority are having the same experience as you. So the whole argument of, well, I haven't seen any bugs and all, is just weird and you should stop. Game crashes for some, seeing through the world, buggy physics, a RAM leak apparently, and some questionable graphics. It really sounds like an awful game, doesn't it? It's not. It's actually very fun. Like, very, very fun. Consider this a look at why these games are amazing and disappointing. Let's begin. What's good? Well, just about everything about the actual game and gameplay itself. 3 stories, open world, a lot of new Pokemon and old ones of course, easy fast travel, and for the most part, it's a seamless experience. Not interrupted by loading screens and whatnot. Now, I won't say anything about the actual stories themselves in depth, seeing as I haven't even finished the game yet, but right now it's featuring a lot of cool characters, some drama, and the occasional sandwich needing to be made. Team Star themselves is a highlight for me regarding their motivations for what they do, so to say. Exploration works well with the use of either Koraidon or Miraidon, and the unlocking of new abilities for either one is very natural. Difficulty is far more balanced than Sword and Shield ever was. In that game, I got so overleveled that I ended up being 10 levels over Leon's Pokemon in the end. And that was with standard Pokemon stuff. No grinding or whatnot. Another big thing was the max rates dumping stuff on me, making anything like rare candies near pointless. Well, it's still not perfect in Scarlet and Violet. For one, the EXP share is still as awful as ever. The rates gives too much EXP candies and such for rare candies to have any value. But somehow, I've managed to black out a few times already in Scarlet and Violet. That never happened in Sword and Shield. And what I think it's mostly because of is the freedom given to explore the gyms out of any order, and the less number of trainers and trainer Pokemon. I swear most trainers only have 1 or 2 Pokemon on them. And that's some good points. Here's what's not so good. For one, the exploration and choice to do gyms in any order you want is nice, but seeing as the levels don't scale with the current badges you have left me with the multiple gyms that were far weaker than me, that meant I could annihilate most gyms with 1 Pokemon since I was far too strong. Now that just makes it feel half-assed in my book, since even in the anime it's shown that the gym leaders adapt to the challenger's progress. Most cities feel empty as heck since most NPCs can't be talked to, and worst of all, you can't enter any buildings that's not a shop. And even then, that shops are just menus now. No little store to walk around in, no cashier to even talk to, just menus. Wow. For some strange reason, Pokemon went back and removed the nice addition of physical attacks actually connecting with the opponents, as seen in Legends Arceus. And on top of that, why does this game run so much worse than Legends Arceus? Please share your own experience in this, but for me, Legends Arceus ran far better. The occasional slowdown, sure, but still. The maps aren't as huge as the full open world of Scarlet and Violet, sure, but not all of the map is loaded at once, you know? It shouldn't be that different. If anything, I thought Scarlet and Violet would use the Legends engine and build upon that. Now, I can't confirm it, but I've read in some Twitter thread that Scarlet and Violet may use a tweaked version of the Sword and Shield engine. Just why? Some janking games are fun and all in all enrich the experience, whereas some can be game-breaking and ruin the whole experience. For one, this is one of the best bugs in the game. Being able to jump backwards like this lets you scale almost every steep slope in the game. Nice. But why, oh why, when I'm surfing around battling Gyarados, does the game just lock itself into 15 FPS heaven? And speaking of which, the frame rate. 30 FPS isn't something new or bad even on consoles, it's perfectly playable. Even the occasional dip to 25 FPS isn't such a big deal for me, but when the occasional thing turns into the standard and the 25 FPS becomes more like 20, it starts to feel like a hassle just to move around in the game. Especially because every now and then the game goes up to normal speed, just giving you a taste of what could have been, and then proceeding to go right back down to 20 FPS hell. Now, that might not be a deal breaker to you, and it's not for me either, of course, but the writing is on the wall. Pokémon is the single biggest IP in the world, the developers and the Pokémon company has more money than they know what to do with, and simply because of that, it is not acceptable to release a game in this state. There is no excuse. Now, should all of these things make you ditch the game? No. I touched upon this briefly in a separate video, but in Pokemon's case, voting with your wallet will not work. Since surprise, the game has already broken sales records. Buy the game if you want, enjoy it to the fullest, but also please try your best to let Game Freak, the Pokémon company, and Nintendo themselves know that this isn't okay, and quite frankly ruins the Nintendo image of absolute quality. To repeat myself from the beginning, these games are fucking fun when they work. Thanks for watching.